and Joe Biden is doing that, created 9 million jobs in his term in office. Donald Trump has the worst record of job loss of any president. So we just have to make sure people know.
That was a global pandemic.
He had the worst record of any president. We've had other concerns in our country. If you want to be an apologist for Donald Trump, that may be your role, but it ain't mine. And
I
he
don't
has
think
the
that
worst.
anybody can accuse me of that.
If you want to be, Joe Biden is doing that, created 9 million jobs in his term in office. Donald Trump has the worst record of job loss of any president. So we just have to make sure people know.
That was a global pandemic.
He had the worst record of any president. We've had other concerns in our country. If you want to be an apologist for Donald Trump, that may be your role, but it ain't mine. And he has.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As you guys can see, the nonsense has begun. Okay. Nancy Pelosi getting destroyed on MSNBC of all places. Okay. MSNBC. Okay. That's Biden News, Biden Network. And even they are calling out the absolute nonsense that's coming out of this that's coming out of Tales from the Crypt. No, I'm sorry. That's coming out from the mummified. Listen, Nancy Pelosi got a facelift. Did you guys peep that? Nancy Pelosi got a facelift. Hold on. I want to see her face again. I wish I could zoom in. Can I? Oh, I can't. No. Guys, use your imaginations. Look at her face. She got a facelift. You see that? Let me put her on full screen so you guys can see properly. Look at that. She got a facelift. Because before, if you guys remember, her neck was sagging and her neck has been tightened a little bit, as you can see. Look at her face. Look at her face. Oh my goodness. Tales from the Crypt's wife. I swear, do you guys remember Tales from the Crypt? This is Tales from the Crypt's wife. You guys can't tell me any different. So she's going around. Welcome in, guys, by the way. I'll get to saying hi to you guys. But I just wanted to tell you guys, this Tales from the Crypt wife is going around. And don't call me, guys, I understand I call her Tales from the Crypt. That doesn't give you guys the right to start calling me Morticia, okay? Just because I call her Tales from the Crypt does not mean that I'm Morticia, Wednesday, or anybody else, okay? Stop it. Tales from the Crypt's wife is going around telling everybody that Donald Trump had the worst records for jobs, right? He lost the majority of Americans' jobs and so on and so forth. He's had the worst records. Do you conveniently forget that the states all got closed down? Do you conveniently forget that there was a global pandemic? So does that mean that Trump is responsible for all the jobs lost worldwide too? Because if we're going to blame all the jobs lost on him, let's blame it for everywhere. Italy, China, everywhere that everybody lost their jobs, Donald Trump is responsible for it. He has the worst record of everybody, doesn't he? Woo! Okay, guys. Welcome in. Welcome in. I'm so happy to see you all on this lovely, lovely Saturday. This is a beautiful Saturday. It has been rainy and gloomy. As you guys know, that is my favorite weather. But anyway, it has been rainy and gloomy all day, all night, all day. Anyway, it has been rainy and gloomy, and I'm happy because it's spring. So it's rainy and gloomy and warm. But anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys understand my frustration with Nancy Pelosi. Pelosi saying, but it ain't mine, is very Dixiecrat. Okay? And you saw what she did. The moment that somebody dared to disagree with her, her first instinct was to say, oh, well, if you're defending Trump, oh, you're standing up for Trump, oh, you're a Trump defender. No, how about that person actually has a memory that's longer than that of a gnat? Could it be that person actually remembers what happened in 2020? Oh, No. Nancy Pelosi probably doesn't remember squat. Nancy Pelosi was probably drunk all through Trump's presidency. We all know Nancy Pelosi has been accused of drinking very heavily and partaking in, okay, allegedly. But I'm saying maybe some of that construction that she's gotten done on her face is because she actually needed a new nose. Not that she wanted a new nose, but she needed it. Anyway, hello, Neil. Hello, American Patriot. Hi, Richard. Hello, Sukamainuka. Hello, Aaron. Hi, Zilich. Hello, Zilich. Guys, hello, Yakub. Laya, pants on fire. Hello, Ultragama. Is she driving? You talking about me? No, I wasn't driving. You guys want to go on a ride with me? I could take you guys for a ride. You guys want to go on a ride with me? I'll take you for a ride. But don't get scared and don't claim that there's not enough seatbelts in the car once I start driving. Hello, Mr. Renegade. Hello, Larry. Hello, Samael. Guys, listen, looking at these politicians, I think this year, this election season, they're not going to be able to get away with all the stuff that they got away previously with. I tell you why. The reason is because everybody was all for Joe Biden, supposedly, right? Supposedly, everybody was hoping for Joe Biden because they hated Trump. All the people that hated Trump were praying for Joe Biden to be their savior. And now that they see the nonsense, all the non-work that's been happening since these people have been in office, where is Kamala Harris? Anyway, now that they see all of the non-work that's been happening, there's no excuse anymore for people to still vote for these people. But you know what? I'll be honest. I still have met people who say that Joe Biden is still better than Donald Trump. I still have met people who said that. In my profession, a lot of people like to share their political views with me, and I don't know why, because I never talk to them about politics. But I guess there's something about my face that says, hi, come talk to me about politics. So people have come to me speaking about Joe Biden and how this election season they're going to vote for Joe Biden. I asked them why. Their reasoning is because now they feel safer with Joe Biden in office because Joe Biden is not a hothead and he doesn't spark hatred out of people. That a man like Trump sparks hatred and evil and bad energy. I'm like, you know why Joe Biden doesn't spark bad energy from anybody? Because he's not there. He's not doing anything. And if that's what you prefer, man, yes, delusional, delulu, as Gen Z says, delulu, completely delulu. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I do randomly groom myself while we're in the middle of conversation. I'll just start randomly grooming. I'm sorry. I'll stop. Exactly. Tomas. Mean tweets 2024. Mean tweets. Zealish says, the same guy who openly cursed a reporter in public. Oh no. That's nothing because remember, Donald Trump went like this. So that means he was talking bad about the retards. Sorry, the mentally so. I don't mean to say retard, but you guys understand. That's what they said. They said, oh, he was mocking retarded people. If someone does something like that, and he wasn't even speaking about people who are mentally slow. That's not who he was talking about. But nonetheless, they still blame that. Oh, and another thing, when he said that one lady was fat, he was like, oh, what did he say about her? He said she's fat and something else. And they said, oh, you can't talk about her because she's a woman. You can't speak about her weight. When he called the other girl horse face. I love Trump. I really do love Trump because he says the things that we think, but whatever. Trump is in a whole different level of, I'm not going to call it trouble. He's in a whole different level of attack because the attacks are relentless. You guys have seen what's been happening recently. Yes, only Rosie O'Donnell. Oh my god. Okay, do you guys want to watch? Wait. I need to pull that up for myself because I haven't seen it in so long, and I think it's good for us to remind ourselves why we love Trump so much. Okay, how do you spell O'Donnell? Oh, I don't know. Here we go. Here it is. Okay. Let's watch it together. Okay, we're gonna watch it together. Okay. Wait. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. And then, yeah. All right, here we go. All right, I'll share my screen. Let's watch it together just because. Why not?
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
No, it wasn't. Your Twitter account...
Thank you.
For the record, it was well beyond Rosie O'Donnell.
Yes, I'm sure it was.
Your Twitter account has several disparaging comments about women's looks. You once told a contestant on Celebrity Apprentice it would be a pretty picture to see her on her knees. Does that sound to you like the temperament of a man we should elect as president? And how will you answer the charge from Hillary Clinton, who is likely to be the Democratic nominee, that you are part of the war on women?
I think the big problem this country has is being politically correct. I've been challenged by so many people, and I don't frankly have time for total political correctness. And to be honest with you, this country doesn't have time either. This country is in big trouble. We don't win anymore. We lose to China. We lose to Mexico, both in trade and at the border. We lose to everybody. And frankly, what I say, and oftentimes it's fun, it's kidding, we have a good time. What I say is what I say. And honestly, Megyn, if you don't like it, I'm sorry. I've been very nice to you, although I could probably maybe not be based on the way you have treated me, but I wouldn't do that.
You know what? And he basically said to Megyn, I said what I said, I meant what I said, and I say it again. You heard that, right? I said what I said, I meant what I said, and I'll say it again. That's basically what he meant when he said that. And this is and you know what? Why is us as a nation, why are we so soft that a man just saying something like that? And I guess because people are like, when you're in a position of power, you need to be diplomatic. There's nothing non-diplomatic about that. He's just being honest. Every other country has honest leaders. Well, not like that. I don't mean like that. When I mean honest, I mean like they say many things as it is, that they don't soften things the way we do here. Yes, they are lying to their people in many other ways, but what I'm talking about this is that we are one of those nations, us and Britain, okay? Us and Britain, we are so like, you got to soften it. Don't say it too harshly. Don't say this. Don't say, and I'm tired of it. You guys are tired of it too. That's why you guys are here. That's why you guys are here with me. Because we don't like this stuff. We like to speak so clearly. You guys speak very clearly. You guys don't hold back. I mean, from what I see. If there's more than, but this is why we are the way we are. Yes, and Trudeau. That's another one. My God, Shadow. Hi, Shadow. I haven't seen you in a bit. Where have you been? He says, because the truth hurts. And you know what? What is the saying? The hit dog hollers loudest, right? The hit dog hollers the loudest. And it's always these people who are hit, who are hurting because what was said applies to them. They're the ones who cry the loudest. Let me show you guys a gift that my husband has given me. So if you guys can see on my neck, I have a gold lion on my neck. This lion is very, very heavy. It has been sent to me. Pure gold, very, very heavy. Okay, this thing is, it weighs so heavy. But here, I'll have you take a look at the lion here. It's a lion from me. My husband gave to me because of me being me, I guess. But he gave me this as a gift. So I'm happy to wear it. I have bling bling on my neck and it's heavy. So I just wanted to show that to you guys so you guys can have a look at the lion. I know, I'm so happy. See, and that's another thing about having my husband be supportive of me too. He's actually supportive of me and our pride and everything that we do here. So thank you, husband. It's pretty. Thanks, Fix. I appreciate it. I hope you guys would like it too. So I'm happy. And Mr. T starter kit. Mr. T. What's a Mr. T? Here, let me look it up. Mr. T. Is this a wrestler? Oh, whoa. Look at his neck. Look at the chains. Wow. Wow, that is a lot. But you can see that that gold doesn't look like it's expensive gold. It doesn't look like it's really expensive. One of the ways that I know that a gold is more expensive is because the color of it. When you get more yellow and darker hued gold, typically it's more expensive. His gold. Oh, am I not sharing my screen with you guys? Oh, let me show you my screen. You guys didn't even see what I was looking at. Here, let me pull it up. Hold on. All right, I'll pull it up so you guys can see it too. Do you see what I see? Mr. T. So, yeah, this is, yeah. It's a bunch of chains on his neck, as you guys can see. Huge. So, is he like a, what is he? What does he do? What made him famous? Is he just famous for wearing chains or what?
He was an actor, is an actor, rather, and a spokesman for various things.
He's an actor?
He was in Rocky. Yeah, he was in Rocky 2 or 3, I forget which. I think it was 3. He was on the A team for like 4 seasons. Yeah, he was a pretty big deal in the 80s, the 70s and 80s. We all know who he was. He's also a military veteran, if I remember right, and a decorated one.
Wow. Oh, Larry says the A team. Oh. Don't disrespect Clubber Lane. What is that? What's a Clubber Lane? Hi, old lamb. Nice to see you.
That was his character in Rocky.
Oh, that.
Clubber
So
Lang
his
is-
character was named. His character was named Clubber Lane.
Yes, Clubber Lang. Yes.
Samuel.
G on the end. I just said, yeah.
Okay. You were gone for a second. Nezzy says,
I might
wasn't
have
he?
glitched out.
You did. Nezzy says, wasn't he in MASH?
I don't think so. I don't think he was old enough for that.
I wouldn't even know what MASH is. So pardon me. Oh, he was a Michael Jackson bodyguard too?
Guy did a lot of stuff.
That's true?
I'm not 100% sure about that, but I think so, yeah.
Wow, he has a life like, you know who else has a life like that? Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger has a life that is one of those lives that is lived once in a century. Does that make any sense to you? Like, these type of lives are very uncommon to live. And Arnold Schwarzenegger has one of those really rare lives. So you guys understand why, right? How he came from different nation, came to our country, married into American royalty with the Kennedys, became a governor in a country that wasn't even his, speaking the language of America. I mean, he has one of those lives, and being a bodybuilder, you know, being top tier bodybuilder and an actor, and then, you know, like, he has a life that he lived 4 lives in one, right? He lived 4 people's lives in one lifetime. That man has quite a life. You guys understand what I'm saying, right? All right, now so I can see you guys understand what I mean by that, because it's kind of hard to explain what I mean when I say that he lived a life that is not common. That type of life happens once in a century. Not many people can say that they've done all those kinds of things and had a baby with the with the maid. I mean, he became a Pookie and a Ray Ray by having a baby with a maid, making her a single mom. And now you're a single mom. Now you're a single mom. Making her to a single mom. So he was a Pookie and a Ray Ray, an immigrant, an illegal immigrant, a steroid hyped up junkie, a corrupt politician, an actor. He was also, what is it, the Terminator or what? Guys, that is a life. That's a life to write a book about. He should write a book. I'm probably sure he did. He probably did. Larry says he became a Chad. Based. He was based. Get your maid pregnant. Based. Except the maid was not cute. Did you guys see her? Oh my gosh. She was not cute. Huh, Samuel? You saw her?
He's Austrian. I'm sure his tastes are different.
Samuel, look at me. Look at me, Samuel. Look over here. Nobody's taste is the maid that he laid down with. Okay, that is nobody's taste. I don't care what Austrian, German, whatever. Samuel, you gotta be joking. That's no one's taste.
No, I'm
But
just
you know,
saying, Eastern European women.
She was
they're
Mexican.
manly. Yeah, like I said, he's probably used to hair on the upper lip. I'm going to go away now.
I was going to kick you out, actually. So thank you for beating me to the punch. I appreciate that. That's one thing about Samuel. A gentleman always knows when to leave. And Samuel is a gentleman, although he doesn't give himself credit enough. But he is a gentleman. He knows when to leave before he gets kicked out of places. He reads the room, if you will. He knows how to read the room. And I appreciate that. Some people can't read the room. Larry, I try to kick Larry off many times, and he's still sitting there like, huh? And then he'll answer with one-word sentences, acting like nothing ever happened. I have to literally pick Larry up and kick him out physically. But Samuel, he reads the room. Hi, Barry. 3G says, Arnold went full Hitler during the pandemic. Screw your freedoms. I mean, 3G, he was in California. What did you expect? Did you expect freedom? He was in California. Those people are so, okay. I don't want to rant about finances, the government, and I don't want to rant about that because that's going to take up our full stream if I do. Because I am in the mood. I'm in the mood to rant about this stuff right now, and I don't want to do it. So let's not do that. What I want to do is give you guys the news. Are you guys ready? He said, Beak says he triggered people when he said girly men. Show us the badly built maid. You guys don't want to see that. You guys do not want to. Okay. Hey, listen, I oblige. Whatever my pride wants, they get. You guys want to see Consuela? How do you spell Schwarzenegger? Hang on. All right, here we go. Schwarzenegger. All right. Here we go. Let's see what she looks like. Ooh. Ooh. Oh my. Oh my. You guys sure you want to see this? Listen, I was sure. All right, I'm gonna share my screen. You guys want to see this, so listen. You guys are gonna be the ones that have to sleep after this, not me. You guys will be the one. All right, so I'll pull it up this way. Since I can't really pull up the picture by itself, I have to have articles with it. Gosh, his wife was so darn hot. His wife, his real wife, not the maid. His wife was smoking hot. But then, and this goes to show men are not always picky about the looks, right? Because a lot of women think, oh, if I'm super hot, then my man will never cheat. She must have been failing in other departments for him to have gone off with this. But anyway, let me share my screen with you. All right, present, share screen. Here we go. So if you look here on my screen to your right here, this is Consuela. I don't know if that's her real name. I'm just saying that because I'm racist. But this is Consuela. If you oh man. Okay, listen. And she was wearing makeup. Imagine that. She actually had makeup on in this picture. Huh? Imagine her without makeup. Just imagine. Arnold's wife looked like if his cousin transitioned. No. Oh, stop it. No, she didn't. She looked good. To me, anyway. Zealage, stop it. Stop. Play nicely. Okay? Listen, and she was wearing makeup, okay? My thing is, sometimes I see women that look, maybe not the best. I'm not, you guys know, I'm no model, I'm no 10, but sometimes I see women who look a little bit rough, and then when I see that they're wearing makeup, I'm like, so how do you look without it? How do you look without makeup if you look rough with makeup? How, you know what I mean? And it always makes me think, how bad does this get? You know what I'm talking about? I always think it's kind of like a game too, because you're like, wow, how much worse can it get? All right, let me give you guys the news now. Let's transition, shall we? Let's transition to news. And then after that, I want to watch makeup videos with you guys. Do you guys mind? I want to watch makeup transformation videos with you because we haven't done that in a while, and I haven't traumatized you guys in a very long time. And I think you guys are due for your your monthly dose of trauma from me. So what I'm going to do is traumatize you guys again tonight with some makeup videos, makeup transformations. And yeah, if you guys don't get any sleep, it's not my fault, You guys, you came here for your monthly dose of trauma, so I'm going to give it to you. Here we go. In the news, January 6th rioter was charged for trying to incite Trump supporters to riot at the Capitol. Days ago, John Sullivan was sentenced for his part in the January 6th, oh my gosh, the January 6th catastrophe, the January 6th event that was worse than September 11th. John Sullivan was sentenced for his part in the January 6th incident. Sullivan was caught saying, and I quote, "I brought my megaphone to instigate some I'm quoting, "I brought my megaphone to instigate some shit," and said his goal was to make those Trump supporters fuck shit up. Before his sentencing, Sullivan cried and said that he was very sorry and that he had learned his lesson. However, Judge Rolls-Royce, however, Judge Royce Lamberth wasn't having any of it and was not accepting those crocodile tears. And the judge slapped Sullivan with 6 years behind the bars. Whew. So he brought his megaphone to instigate some SHIT, but now he's going to be behind bars having other people instigate things on his SHIT. The article continues, Sullivan was a Black Lives Matter supporter. But the organization distanced itself from him back in 2020 when it was discovered that his brother was an activist with ties to the Proud Boys. Just recently, here's a new article. We're moving on. Gun control groups have attacked veterans' guns rights. Veterans' gun rights. Gun control groups are taking aim at military veterans, demanding that Congress allow the Veteran Affairs to reinstitute their policy of reporting veterans deemed mentally incompetent to the FBI for entry into the agency's federal background check system. Do you guys want me to read that again? It was a little bit convoluted. Do you guys want me to? Did you guys understand? I'll read it quickly again, and then you guys let me know. So gun control groups are taking aim at military veterans, demanding that Congress allow the Veterans Affairs to reinstitute their policy of reporting veterans deemed mentally incompetent to the FBI for entry into the agency's federal background check system. These groups accuse Congress of creating, quote unquote, an enormous threat to the safety and well-being of veterans by stopping said practice. This is called incompetency. The quote unquote mentally incompetent determination used by the VA was very broad and often resulted in veterans having their private medical information disclosed with the FBI, who then placed them on a database with criminals to violate their Second Amendment rights. I'm getting mad again. Okay, I'm calming down. I'm stop. Do you guys get that too? That moment when you start getting, you know what I'm talking about, where you can feel it in your tummy, where it's coming through your chest, and it's like, you know what I'm talking about, like kind of a heat sensation. That's what happens to me every time I start getting upset when I'm reading something. It just slowly starts to come, and I'm calming down, because today is supposed to be a calm day. Okay, guys, today is supposed to be a day of fun and loving and makeup videos. Okay, we're not doing this today. Okay, I feel it coming, but we're not going to do this today. All right. So they are deeming veterans mentally incompetent to have their medical information shared with the FBI, who then places them on a database with criminals to violate their Second Amendment rights. Oftentimes, this determination was made if the veteran was deemed unable to manage their financial affairs by the VA staff or by a court order, but who cares about that, right? This means that a veteran could simply fill out a form requesting financial management assistance and then find out sometime later that they can't purchase a gun. I'm not doing it. I'm good. I'm still holding it together. I'm okay. We're good. I'm good. All right. I just needed to look other places for a second. That's all. I just need to look to the wall, or, to the window, to the wall, from the windows to the wall. All right. Let me just look in other places. Distractions help. Is my eye twitching? My eye is twitching. All right. So a veteran could fill out a form requesting financial management assistance and then find out later that they cannot purchase a gun. At this time, Congress has not responded to the written demand. Okay, we got through that article. We got through it. We made it, guys. We made it. Whoop-de-doo. Next article. Adam Schiff. Adam Schiff don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do it. All right. I got it. Because, I said that I was going to. I don't want to. I can't. I'm not going to do this. All right. I'm going to do it anyway because I told you guys that I would do this for you and I'm doing it. So, Adam Schiff. Adam Schiff was robbed en route to an event. All right. Here we go. California Democrat Representative Adam Schiff, who is famous for lying about having proof that Donald Trump colluded with Russia, as you guys know, he was robbed in a San Francisco parking lot the other day. His car was broken into and his luggage was stolen. So, he was robbed the other day. His vehicle was broken into and his luggage was stolen, which caused Schiff to wear casual clothes to a fancy dinner for John CHECKED, who is a high-profile lawyer that is supporting Schiff's bid for Senate. In case you guys don't know, John CHECKED is just a high-profile lawyer who's supporting him. So they went to a dinner. Schiff was unable to get properly dressed because his luggage was stolen out of his vehicle in San Francisco from the policies that these people have. So basically, this is what we call F around and find out. You F around and change things and create an environment where criminals feel comfortable. Then you later find out. So you know what I mean? F around and find out. You see, like the more you F around with things, the more you find out. And that's all that happened there. I think that is how things should be. I think God would be very proud with what happened. And I think we can move on with our day accordingly. Are you guys ready for LGBTQIA plus pedos plus everything sick news? I said that I was, listen, I don't know if I can do this. I think I'm going to do something that I'm going to regret. And all right. I said, are you serious, Larry? No. I'm not doing it. See, I said I was going to be calm today. I said, I'm not doing it, Larry. I already I already skimmed through the article. I'm not doing it because the moment that I start this, I already know what's going to happen. I already know what up, but you don't mess with see, and I'm not even Christian. I'm not Christian yet. You don't mess with the church and these things that these people are doing. You don't. I'm not Larry. I'm not doing it. I'm. Let's move on to the makeup videos. Let's just go to the. You know what? All right. Listen. I will give it to you. Here we go. The United Methodist Church has lifted a ban on LGBTQIA plus pedo plus everything sick weddings. The United Methodist Church has lifted their ban on gay weddings. Who are these people? Who are these people so we can find them? Who are these people that... And you wonder why Christianity is a joke today. You wonder why. Hold on. I'm not freaking out, by the way. I'm not freaking out. I said I'm not going to freak out today, and I'm not. So don't say that I am. But you wonder why every time you see religion being made fun of, it's always Christianity that's being made fun of, right? You never see them making fun of Islam, Jews, Buddhists, nothing. You don't see it. You want to know why? The reason why you don't see it is because of this nonsense right here. Because you guys are the ones who allow effery into your churches. You guys are the ones who allow it. Your leaders, Christians, oh ye Christians, any Christians who are listening to me, you should be enraged. I'm not enraged. I'm okay. I'm actually having a good time today. I'm having a good time. I really am. I'm not even freaking out today like I normally would. You guys see, I'm not even freaking out today. So I think I'm doing pretty good. But if I were Christian, I'd be freaking out right now, and I'd be very highly pissed and offended, because you guys as leaders are the ones who make you look weak. They make you look like a joke. And this is the reason why you can have Jesus. You can have people making videos about how Jesus is gay and doing all these faggotry things with Jesus. Ooh, no respect. But you know what? You guys allow it. You guys allow your leaders to do this. You guys allow your leaders to do this. And then those same leaders can get in front of the pulpit. Is that what it's called? Pulpit? They can get in front of a congregation and then make a sermon on Sunday. How are you even allowed to make a sermon when you just allowed LGBTQIA weddings, marriages? Okay. The article continues like this. After a 20-year ban on gay clergy and alphabet weddings, the United Methodist Church reversed said ban, earning the favor of the LGBTQIA plus pedos plus everything sick community. During an interview on this topic, co-pastor Matt Patrick, there's his name for you guys, there's his name, Matt Patrick. Why don't we look up who Matt Patrick is, shall we? I think that's a good idea. Let's have a little field trip, class. Matt Patrick. Who is this guy? Who is he? All right. Where is he located? Here he is. Oh, I found him. Oh, would you look at that? His church is called the Well Church Boulder. The Well Church Boulder. Who we are. Hold on. Let's go to their church and let's see what their church says their mission is. Here it is. The mission of the church is to proclaim the gospel. Is that so? Is that so? Proclaim the gospel and make disciples. I love it. I love it. Make disciples. Here we go. So Matt Patrick serves the Well as the lead pastor of Vision and Teaching. He is a graduate of Western State Colorado University, Fellowship Associates, Church Planting Residency, and received his master's from Denver Seminary. He is the lead pastor of this church. Isn't that great? Isn't that great? That's wonderful. Wait, let me show you guys a picture of him. Wait. I need to share my screen so you guys can see what I see. Hold on. Let me show you. Let's share the screen. Here we go. There you are. Here we go. This is the guy right here on the left top. Matt Patrick, the elder and lead pastor of Vision and Teaching. There you go. That's the guy. And if you look, listen, I don't mean to be offensive. I really don't mean to be offensive, but I want to tell you guys something. If you look at these four gentlemen, oh, do you guys want me to put it back on there? I can put it back so you guys can see what I'm talking about first. If you look at these four gentlemen on the screen, take a look. me and you have always talked about there's a look to beta males, you could say. There's a beta male look and there's a look to simps. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Where, okay, there is a look to men that don't stand for anything. And this is what that looks like. Huh? You see the beard, the neck beards and all that. You see? Huh? That's what it looks like. And anytime you see these kind of men, you can almost know that there's some effery next to them, following them, or that's going to come later with them. Because men like this are dangerous. They don't stand for anything. Huh? These look like the Brokeback Mountain type of guys. You guys know what I'm talking about. Wife at home, but they desire a different type of steak. This is what I'm talking about. These are the people that we need to be worried about. But I'm not freaking out today. I'm actually doing very well. As you guys can see. Like, normally I'd be like, yelling and screaming and like mad and stuff. I'm not today. I'm just telling you guys that if I were a Christian, I would be livid. But you see, that's the thing with us Muslims. We are different. Muslims, we go off the handle for a fraction of this type of offense. Okay, this is the reason why a lot of people don't mess with our people, because we go off the handle. And Christians, you need to be the same. Take a lesson from the rest of us. You need to be the same about your own. You need to be the same about your religion. Don't let this stuff happen. And how are these people still having a church? How are they still allowed to speak over anybody? You might as well have a woman teaching over the men. This is the same thing as having women preaching to the men about God, or telling the men how to be righteous and be godly men. This is what that is. You might as well have a woman. This is the same thing as having a woman preacher. The reason why we don't allow women preachers is so that we can have preachers that stand, that are strong, that protect. This is not protecting. Allowing gay marriages in your church is not protecting. You're not protecting your congregation, your people, your religion, heck, even your reputation as a Christian. You're not protecting anything. And this is the reason why I need to continue back to the article, because I think I'm starting to get upset. So what I'm going to do is go back to the article, and it continues. After a 20-year ban on gay clergy and alphabet weddings, United Methodist Church reversed said ban, earning the favor of the LGBTQ community. During an interview on this topic, co-pastor Matt Patrick said, and I quote, "I did tear up this morning at the announcement." Oh, just saying those words make me feel bleh. It's a man. That's a man. And the first thing that he comes out his mouth, I did tear up this morning at the. Shut up. Shut. All right. The article continues. Matt Patrick said, and I quote, "I did tear up this morning at the announcement of the vote because it was just a huge relief to see justice had been served after so many years. There's a lot of pain." Oh, sorry. Let me re-say that the way he properly said it. He said, "There's just been a lot of pain in order to get us to this wonderful place." Ya Allah, subhanallah wa ta'ala, Ya Allah, Ya subhanallah, Ya Rab, Ya Rab, Ya Rab. I am so, oh my God, I'm so tired of seeing people disrespect Christianity. I am so tired of seeing people change Christianity into being the religion of Pusey. Christianity is a based religion. Christianity is a very solid, moral and value-based religion. It is not a joke. Why do these people treat it Like it's just a freaking, it's a fancy. It's just something that, it's just a suggestion. The Bible is just a suggestion. The teachings are just advice. I am so, you make Christianity look like poussé. Poussé. Let's just say that. You make it look weak. He said that Matt Patrick, the pastor, said, I did tear up this morning at the announcement of the vote because it was just a huge relief to see justice has been served after so many years. There's just been a lot of pain in order to get us to this wonderful place. Patrick finished his part of the interview saying, and I quote, "Where we go from here, God only knows." Oh, yeah. Oh, God knows. God knows. That's one thing you said right, Mr. Patrick. God surely knows where you guys are going from here. This is the decision that has, there's no coming back from this one, homeboy. There's no coming back. You are halas, finish, finito. That's it. That's it. It's over. It's over. What you gonna do? You led your people astray. You led your sheep astray. What do you think happens to those who lead people astray? What do you think happens when you make blasphemy and you make a joke and a fool out of your religion? What do you think happens? No, I'm not gonna say. Okay, our last article. This is the last one I'm doing. I'm not doing anymore, Larry. I'm not doing anymore. Larry, this is it. Okay? This is it. Our last article goes like this. Middle schoolers are banned for the anti-trans athlete stance. Oh, good. Finally, at least we have some people who are standing up, and it's a shame that it's children who are standing up to this, but here we go. West Virginia Attorney General Patrick Morrisey is suing the Harrison County Board of Education for banning 5 students from all future athletic events. The 5 Lincoln Middle School girls were banned for protesting the participation of a trans athlete in their in their track and field competition. Although the state has a ban on transgender participation in girls' events, a federal appeals court exempted Becky, the trans 8th grader that was protested against. So the federal appeals court actually gave an exemption for this trans 8th grader that was protested against. Oh my gosh. For why? I don't know. In this decision, Judge Toby Haydens wrote that offering her a choice in participating in boys' sports or not participating in sports was no real choice at all. So you'd rather have her participate in women's sports because the only other options were to have that person not participate in sports at all or to be in the boys' team. And those other options were not options at all. Huh. Okay. So, okay. All right. So the other middle schoolers, guys, they were banned for standing up against this trans athlete in their school. So kids are being punished and banned from school for saying that they will not participate in athletic sports with a person that is not the same plumbing as themselves. And the children are being punished for that. even though it's actually a safety concern. Because by middle school, the bodies are starting to be different. That's where most of us start going through puberty. So why would the students? Okay, anyway, you guys understand. Yes, Aaron, girls, yes. What do you guys want me to, you know, these children will grow up knowing what the government is. They're gonna the kids growing up today are living in a completely different world, and I have to accept that too. Because if America would be like this when I was 10 or when I was 8 or when I was going through puberty, I don't know. You gotta understand them. They don't feel protected. These kids are not protected, first of all. They don't feel protected. So they're gonna grow up with a completely different mentality than us, right? I mean, we have to consider the world that we have right now. Because although us as adults, we grow up, us as adults, we talk about these things, but we don't really think that much about how it's affecting the mentality of the kids going through puberty right now, the ones who are having to find themselves, find their identity, because every teen goes through it. We all did. Like, who am I? What's my style? What do I like? What type of person am I going to be? We all had to go through that stage. But in today's world, that means something completely different. Today, it's not even about finding yourself naturally. It's about choosing if you're going to be a trans and get all the attention and get exemptions, or if you're going to be normal, if you're going to be pushed into lesbianism or and parents not protecting you. They're not protecting you from being in sports with a person that's, come on. I mean, anyway, Zealage says, I just remember being a kid. Oh, I remember when being a kid meant just being a kid and nothing else. BTK says, a woman teacher was caught making out with an 11-year-old 5th grade boy. I don't, it's not even weird, BTK. It's not weird anymore. This is common. There's so many women, the young teachers of today, the teachers who are under 30, young teachers today, they are living out their high school dreams or middle school and high school dreams through the children. I'm going to explain this to you. The girls that were not popular in high school and middle school, now they become teachers and they go back into schools being a young teacher, and now they live out their high school dreams and their middle school dreams of being the girlfriend of the football player of the school or whatever. Now they live out their dream. Before, schools were filled with women who were married, older, and they dressed in long dresses, very modest. You didn't even look at the teacher that way because teachers came there with more dignity. Let's just say that. They came with more dignity and they weren't whores like they are today. Today, the teachers are I can't even talk because in my school, my teachers were all nuns. We didn't look at them any kind of way. We were, in fact, scared. We were scared of them because obviously they were dressed super modestly and they were no nonsense. They didn't play. So my teachers were all nuns and sisters. So And I think that's part of the reason why I have such a respect for Christianity, not because of the Catholics. I'm not saying because of the Catholics per se, but I'm saying this in a way that when I went to Catholic school, I know that Catholics and Christians are different. I understand that. The point that I'm trying to make is that when I went to this school, learning from the Bible, going to school and praying with Christians, when I went to school, we had a huge respect for the Bible, for the religion, and for what it meant. And we were scared. And not scared as in like, crapping our pants, but we were scared to offend or to be disrespectful. I look today as an adult, the way people treat Christianity and Jesus, and I'm like, man, Christians have just let it all hang out. They're just like, oh, if we can't beat them, let's just join them. I'm going to put the link into the chat. If anybody wants to join me, you can feel free to do so. I'm open to having conversation. Here we go. I'm open to having conversation with you guys. In fact, I would love it. If you guys want to talk about Nancy Pelosi, we can do that. Or we can also talk about religion. We can talk about how the LGBTQIA marriages are being allowed, and pretty much every church, every sector of Christianity is allowing this now. You know what I'm thinking? It could be one of those things that, like before a woman wearing pants was seen as blasphemous. It was seen as an abomination for a woman to wear trousers. Remember that? A lot of you guys know about this time because your parents or your grandparents told you about it. That was seen as blasphemous. That was seen as something that was almost like a sin. And today it's seen as normal. So now I'm thinking, is this the same thing that's going to happen with LGBTQI marriage in the church, where today it's seen as blasphemous, but in 30 years, 40 years, 50 years time, it's going to be something so normal that freaking out about it, people are going to be like, why are you freaking out about it? It's normal. But I don't understand how anybody could see it normal when in your book, in the book that you say that you're following, in the book that you're reading in your sermons, it clearly says this is an abomination and it shouldn't happen. Women shouldn't dress like men. Men shouldn't dress like women. And don't you dare think about laying down with one another, because that is an abomination and a huge sin, and you will be punished for doing so. No, let's just skip past that page. Let's skip past that page. Let's go to the next one. Oh, this is Old Testament. We're going to disregard it. Hi, Shadow.
Hey, how's it going?
I am here, Shadow. I think I said I wasn't mad, but I think the vein right here in my forehead is like popping out a little bit.
Oh, hey. Does my sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Better than mine.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh. Nice to meet you, Ultimate, or Gamma, or UG, or whatever you'd like to be called.
Gotcha. Nice to meet you, Shadowhawk.
Yeah.
Hey, Rabies, do you want to come up or no? Rabies said, "Shut up, Shadow."
Yes, that's Carrie.
Okay, so I think you just started speaking and he wants you to shut up. Oh, okay, sorry, Carrie. It says leave me backstage. Okay, that's fine. Do you still have rabies? He still hasn't gotten rid of his rabies. I told you to drink water. You know,
I think he likes it because it makes it so he can't feel pain.
Oh, I see.
That is one of the symptoms of rabies.
Oh. Well, that's satisfying now, isn't it?
Of course, it comes with heightened paranoia and fear of water. So, straight up.
That's normal. That's normal for him, though. That's normal. That's fine. RJ says, kids today respect nothing. Oh, RJ, well, why would they? RJ, let's speak about that. Why would they respect anything today? Tell me why. Why would they respect religion? when the adults clearly don't respect it and the adults are allowing their religion to be stomped over left and right? Why would the kids respect something that the adults don't even respect? Why would they respect their parents when their parents all just want to be their friends and the parents are neutered? The parents aren't allowed to parent. They're not allowed to spank, discipline, create any type of order, because if you do, you're taking away the freedom and the creativity of the child, and you're creating a self-esteem issue within the child. And why would they respect the parents? Why would they respect the teachers when in the school, the teachers aren't allowed to do anything? They don't even get not timeout. They don't even get suspended anymore. Suspension isn't even a thing anymore, because they're saying that is a form of, I forget how they said it was something with slavery or something like that. I don't even know how they brought those things together, but somehow they're saying that is a form of slavery by taking away their education so that they can't read as a form of punishment and blah, blah, blah. Why would they respect
anyway?
RJ, why would they respect anything anymore? They don't have reason to, because the adults have lost the respect.
Well, I have a topic for you all.
Zealot says the adults never grew up. Well, Zealot, all the adults are still children. We talked about that. We talked about how childhood extended from childhood used to be you're a child before puberty, and after puberty, you're an adult. Then it extended to 18 years old. Then it extended to 21 years old in many places. And then it extended to 26, because we recognize that the human brain doesn't finish developing until the age of 26. So that's childhood. You're a child under 26. And now we're at the point where you hit 30, 35, and you're still a freaking child, because childhood is never ending in today's modern world. You are a forever child.
Yes,
Well, at least
because to be
women. Only women.
well,
are.
even for men, because to be an adult, you need to accept responsibilities. You need to actually be engaged in self-determination. Why do that in a world that does not matter? Why do that in a world that you won't get anything out of? The death of the spiritual death of religion has gotten rid of meaning for many people, and the fact that you live these comfortable lives for very little work further compounds that. You can live a very atheistic life if you have to struggle against something. You can live in a world as long and suffer as long as you have something to believe in. Doesn't need to be the Abrahamic God, doesn't need to be the Buddhist God, doesn't need to be the Shinto God, doesn't even need to be the flying spaghetti monster. You just need something to believe in. By stripping down religion due to a variety of factors and living in such a comfortable world, people have nothing to believe in, and they have nothing to strive for, and so they live sad, miserable lives. The only people who have something to believe in are the people who believe in pride or progress, and those are the people actively destroying the world in order to rebuild their utopia on its ashes.
Shadow, I have something better. They do have a religion today, but the religion is not that of God. Their religion is money, power, TikTok, attention, the idea of luxury.
Yeah,
that's the new God.
Yes, yourself, do as thou wilt is your God, and the utopia on the other hill just got to make a few more billion dead on the back of communism, and we'll reach that utopia. Those are the gods of the modern day. Also, Andrew Tate, for some reason. I don't know why people worship him, though.
Oh, gosh. But that's what I'm saying. There is a God, but it's just not it's not a God of good. It's not a God of good things and hard work. It's a God of greed, of luxury, of you must look rich, you must look everything. And it's like, there's more things in life, because even the people who have a lot of money will tell you that money doesn't mean anything. And I know people always say, it's always the people who have money who say that money means nothing. But they're saying that for a reason, because people who have money actually know how it feels and know how sad your life can still be.
I have a topic for you all.
I feel like I'm raging today, guys. Go ahead, Ultra Gamma. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Did you hear about the story with Candace Owens and what's that other guy?
Benny Boy Shapiro?
Yes, Ben Shapiro. Yes. Did
I
y'all
heard
hear
about it?
It was pretty messed up.
And from the information I have, I'm assuming you're talking about how she's like, debate me, bro. He's like, yeah, I'll debate you. And then apparently there's a gag order going. From what I've heard, it seems like a nothing burger.
Well, it's a lot more than a nothing burger. It's
It would
pretty
be
bad.
nice. It would be nice if you guys explain what it is, so those who don't know what you guys are talking about.
Sure.
Yes.
Ultimate, would you like to do it?
Sure. So Candace Owens had a show with the Daily Wire, and apparently the Daily Wire and Ben Shapiro and every other network hates when you talk about Jewish people, so much so that they will cancel you. In fact, I think on Fox, someone was talking about George Soros, and they immediately said, no, we're not talking about that. Cut him off, and just got rid of him. Like, not killed him, just got him off the air.
I understand.
But yeah, so it happens a lot, and it's just really sad because this is on the Republican side. You have Ben Shapiro, who is Jewish, and it's like, yes, you're Jewish, but at the same time, you have to acknowledge that there's two sides to every story. Palestine and Israel, they're fighting, right? So what she said was she wants to see that no one is dying. Same thing that Trump said. When they asked him, are you pro or against Russia? You know what he said? He said,
I don't want either one to die. Yeah, I know.
Yep.
Well, I want you to point out something, Ochagama. Most of the Republican side are for Israel. You know that because Republicans see Israel as an ally, and they'd rather protect Israel than protect those darn stinking Muslims.
Well, I have to say, just from looking through like Twitter and other areas, it's kind of half and half. So the old Republicans, yes, because they're more religious and like the religious wars for some reason. But the new Republicans, the ones that joined in, they're not like that. They're actually like, no, we need to call it out. And no matter what it is, if you're wrong, you're wrong. So I've been reading it, and it's pretty interesting.
It's fundamentally the fact that it's a variety of factors. I mean, there's always the greed. There's a lot of people who make money on sending weapons to Israel. There's the personal commitments. Many Republican senators and congressmen and stuff, they're Jewish, and they, like Ben Shapiro, feel a kinship with the Jews of Israel. Then there's the moral component of the last 80 years we have been getting bludgeoned with the we did nothing in the Holocaust, and 37, a billion Jews died. The number seems to consistently change.
That's right.
The Holocaust did happen. I'm not denying that, but I've seen different numbers tossed around, and it seems inconsistent on what the final estimate was. But we've been bludgeoned for 80 years that we didn't do enough then, and so many people feel like there needs to be something done now. And then a variety of other factors spurring the mainline Republican Party. The people who are, not all for Israel are the people who are having to recognize that basic commodities such as, bread and circuses are getting more expensive. Why are we sending money to a foreign war in a desert that doesn't affect us, that we've spent the last 20 years failing to conquer, when we have people still missing in Maui, when we still have tainted water in Flint, Michigan, and East Palestine, wherever it is in the U.S. I don't remember the state. When we still have a poor education system, a homeless veteran problem, why are we wasting our time with a foreign country? And
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say we also have an infrastructure issue as well. As you can see, all the bridges keep blowing up. Trains are crashing all over the place. So just adding that as well.
Well, I mean, aside from the problems in America, if you guys want to hear my side on this issue, Israel versus Palestine, I think America needs to recognize that the Israel and Palestine war is not something that will be stopped in one generation or a war or 10 years. This is a generational thing that's been going on. America needs to get their hands out of it. Leave that to the Middle East to deal with. It is not your position. It is not your job to defend either side. You need to stay out of it and deal with your own nation, deal with your own country and the issues that you have going on that's important to you. As for the money being sent to Ukraine, Shadow, listen to me because you're distracted.
I'm talking with the chat. I apologize.
Shadow, the reason why it's being sent, I think but I think we spoke about it not too long ago, was the reason is that they're laundering that money. That money is just being cleaned.
Well, there are some legit. there are some legitimate sales of weapons, because that money does end up in the hands of politicians, but then there's also the money laundering occurring as well.
The weapons, you're speaking about America giving weapons to Ukraine,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, if we sell them a surface to an AA system, for instance, we need to either make a new replacement, or we're making a fresh new one to send to them. That results in profit going to a company. That company gives kickbacks to politicians. That's not all the money, and it's still technically a form of money laundering, but there
I
is,
hear you.
to some extent, legitimate business going on.
I hear you, but America is not losing anything with giving this money to Ukraine. They're not losing anything. What we're not understanding, even weapons, we're not losing weapons. There's another thing that's going on where we're still getting our values worth, even when we're sending weapons. The weapons that we're sending are our old armory. Is that how you call it? Arsenal.
Arsenal, armory, either
Yeah,
word seems to work in
these
this
are
situation.
just our old things that we just have, and you're giving it to them, but we're still getting our money's worth in other ways, you guys can imagine. And as for the money, that's why we're so eager to send all this money to Ukraine, because we are not losing any money. This stuff is being stored. This has been happening since the beginning. Do you guys remember back in Obama's time, when Obama was in office, people asked the same questions. Why are we sending so much money to Ukraine? Right? And it was too suspicious before to send that money to Ukraine. Why? Because there was no need for us to send it. But now we have a need to send it. Now it's like, oh, we're helping with the war. Oh, there's a war. We must help. This is why Biden was so excited when this war began. In fact, I think that this was, I know it's a little conspiracy, right? A little conspiracy theory, but I think that this was well planned. I think that this was welcomed. This was welcomed. And it was something that was welcomed back in Trump's time, but Trump said hell to the no. Trump said no. Biden said yes, because I can launder this money. Trump wasn't interested in laundering that money.
Sounds like a JFK story all over again.
Cuba.
Let's blame the man on Spain and start a war to safeguard our interests.
There you go. And it's not something that we even started, because they knew already that Russia was not happy. They knew that Putin was going to do this anyway. But what better time to do it than right now, when Biden is in office, because all that money gets laundered and sent back to the United States to go to the pockets of our greedy politicians. And now we are so high in debt, trillions and trillions of dollars. If you guys take trillion and compare it to billion and compare that to million, do you guys know, if you compare that in time, in days, the difference between a billion and a trillion is massive. People don't understand. Our human brains can't fathom numbers past 500,000, or, we can't fathom numbers humanly. We can't. But if you put that in perspective, people don't understand how much $1 trillion is. $1 trillion is years and years of time, where $1 million is like a week or two. So anyway,
but yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say I just did some mental math, and I think $1 trillion is somewhere in the ballpark of about about 50,000 Bentleys.
Shadow, get off my channel. Get off my channel right now. Right now. See, this is the problem with our pride. See, we have the younger generation, and this is the reason why people like Shadow aren't welcomed here. You guys understand that, right? You guys understand? See, Sharon. See, Sharon is one of our sane people. Sharon, you agree, don't you? Sharon, see, Zealot, you probably are with Shadow, so I'm not going to bring you up. But Yakub, you agree? No, Zealot, no, stop laughing. Yakub, are you laughing too? Dang it. All right, you know what? Eventually, I'm going to get you guys on my side, and you guys are going to understand. Larry, stop it, Larry. Larry, get up.
Oh, wait, no, I'm not laughing. I didn't laugh. Amira, I'm sorry.
Laugh again, Shadow. See what happens. Laugh again. Look at him. Shadow.
I'm not laughing. I promise. Don't send me back into the other corner, please. Please don't send me back.
Stop.
Carrie has rabies. I don't want rabies.
Carrie has rabies. He really does, but he's getting over it. He's just a little sick, right? Did you just put it back? I just took you down. So, all right. See, this is the reason why I can't give second chance. Did I see something, Shadow?
No.
Uh-huh. Stop, Shadow.
I'm laughing. I promise I am not laughing. I have not been laughing. Please do not whip Dobby. Dobby does not need to be whipped.
Shadow. Neil says, if you started spending $1 million a day the year Christ was born, you wouldn't yet be to $1 trillion. Well, that would make sense. I mean, that's only what, 200 million, 200? No, I don't know. You guys
$1 million. That's about 600,000 days, I think. 365 times about 2,000. Yeah, about 306. A little over 600,000. No, a little over 720,000.
No, that can't be true because that's $1 million a day.
Hold on.
Not
thousands. Well, no. So, like the number of days since the birth of Christ. So we are in the year 2024.
Don't do the math right now because I'm gonna start. Look, BTK says Amir is a school teacher. As I'm looking at Shadow saying, "You better not laugh." Yeah, I feel like a teacher. Who's laughing?
I realized something, Amira. I apologize. I lied. It is significantly more than 50,000 Bentleys because that was for $1 billion.
Oh.
And so it's closer to 50 million Bentleys.
Oh, jeez. That sounds like. I mean, a dream to me would be 50,000 Bentleys, but that many millions of Bentleys is not fun to me.
That is enough to give 1 in every 6 Americans a Bentley.
Larry, I am not playing with you.
Amir is a vampire?
Go to the naughty corner, Larry. Naughty corner right now.
Party in the naughty corner.
Oh.
Shadow.
So as far as...
Thank you, Larry. Go ahead, Gamma.
Sorry, I'm always just coming in random, it's, yeah. Anywho, so as far as the Candace Owens anti-Semitism nonsense going on, it's just really weird because everyone loved, well, not everyone, but the Daily Wire loved her until she said something against Jewish people, and now she's just completely gone, erased from the internet, and you can't find her anywhere. Maybe on Twitter, but it sucks.
That's right.
I think that's partly due to, say, like a non-compete clause. Perhaps for like a year or two, she's not able to jump to another platform, and she's not allowed to like do her own stuff because like that's relatively fair.
I don't think it's fair at all. I think it's fucked up.
A non-compete clause, or the fact that she got kicked out a non-compete clause. I feel like if you are fired from an institution and they tell you are not allowed, like that implies you did something wrong. You can't just jump over to a different.
Oh, no, I get what you're saying. Like legally, yes, but as far as how they treated her, no.
Oh, in this specific instance where they got rid of her for anti-Semitism, if that is what it is, then yeah, that's absolute bull. I'm
saying that's exactly what it is.
Clause. Okay.
It has to be because she's been their darling for a long time.
She did like with the Kanye. She was pretty tight with Kanye apparently, and then like some other stuff. I imagine this is a mixture of like some behind the scenes things.
Well, Kanye is also labeled. He's also labeled an anti-Semite as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, he's also a freaking Spurg, mildly schizophrenic. So
I actually like him. I know he's crazy. I know he's off it, but I
don't like him. He's funny. I would have voted for him if it wasn't for Trump. But yeah, like he.
Oh, you guys can continue. I'll just be right back. I can still hear you. So, Shadow, if you start laughing, I can still put you in the naughty corner if you laugh. Remember, guys, rest of the panel, if he laughs just one time, just let me know. I'll be back, okay?
Gotcha. Howdy, Neil.
Hello. How are
What are your
y'all?
thoughts on Candace Owens and the Daily Wire stuff?
What was that?
What are your thoughts on the Ultimate Gamma brought up the Daily Wire Candace Owens situation, where she was, to my understanding, allegedly fired due to alleged anti-Semitic remarks, and recently a gag order has been placed on her to seemingly stop a debate between her and Ben Shapiro. If I remember right, that's what Gamma brought up earlier in the stream, and that's what we've returned to. So, what are your thoughts on that?
I will have to confess that I missed that one. I do listen to Ben Shapiro a lot and usually like what he has to say. I had missed the whole kerfuffle between him and Candace Owens.
Sure. Gamma, do you mind? You explained it earlier. Do you mind if I explain it now to Neil?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, in my humble opinion, this doesn't just like the recent Candace's recent leaving of the Daily Wire is probably just the end of it. There were multiple instances of her like espousing Christian faith and Christian values, seemingly as like pushback against Jeremy Boring and Ben Shapiro and some of the stuff they've said. And so she recently publicly left the Daily Wire. And I have not seen her doing this, but apparently she has been calling for a debate between her and Ben Shapiro, specifically on the topic of Israel. And allegedly, Ben agreed. And then it came out that Candace Owens was served a gag order to stop, to stop doing certain things. And there are people believing that it is because they want to the Daily Wire wants to kind of like sweep this under the rug and not really talk about it. But it feels like a gag order is kind of, in my opinion, a gag order is kind of excessive. Ultimate Gamma, would you say that's a fair assessment of things, or did I miss anything out?
Oh, absolutely. And if I may say something extremely rude, permission?
You don't have permission to say something rude. What is it?
Oh, man. Okay, I wanted to say that it's really messed up that these people from Israel don't accept Jesus as their Lord and Savior. That's all I have to say.
Get off my channel. Get off my channel. You too, Larry. Because see, now you know what? This is what I need to do. I need to be stricter on all of you. Because don't think I didn't see that, Larry. You think I didn't see that spazzed out picture of me? Where did you get that from? First of all, this is why I need to be stricter on all of you. Okay? Accepting Jesus as the Lord and Savior in Israel. Those people are demonic. What do you think they're going to? Never mind. Okay, I'll stop. Okay. I will.
If I could respond to,
we have a new guest. We have a new guest. So Neil, how are you? Welcome to the panel. Is there anything that you wanted to bring up?
I'm good. Well, I did want to respond while you were away. Shadow was talking about the Candace Owens, Ben Shapiro thing. I find the premise that that there's bad blood between them over her professed Christianity. I find that a little bit perplexing because Ben Shapiro has been very supportive of Christianity and its influence in the United States, and that if anything, there's a need for people to return more to basic Christian values. He is a devout Jew, and he makes no bones about that. He's supportive of Israel, but he's not at all opposed to Christian belief. So it's kind of puzzling to me that people would argue that he was upset with Candace Owens for expressing her Christian belief. That just doesn't sound like his show at all. It doesn't sound like the things like his public statements.
And again, that's why I did preface allegedly. I did forget to leave out that this is in the context of the Israel-Palestine conflict.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for instance, when the Christ is King thing was trending, and some people labeled that as anti-Semitic, he pushed back against the claim that it was anti-Semitic, saying, no, it's not. It is just, it's a fact from the Christian worldview, Christ is King.
Yeah. That's Christian.
So apparently Jesus didn't die for our sins or something, I guess.
I mean, it depends on your worldview. Me being a hyper-extremist Christian, I believe that he did die for our sins, and we were the laughing centurions who nailed him to that cross after whipping him. If you are a Buddhist, you do not believe that. If you are an asset true pagan, you do not believe that. And if you're a atheist, then you absolutely do not believe that.
Well, the
So it
thing
just
is,
depends on your perspective.
Christians shouldn't be catering to other people's religion. If the Christian believes that, there's no reason why in a nation like America that they should be cowering to other religions, or that they should have their religion disrespected publicly. If anything, and
Boom.
this is why I hate that they disrespect Christianity so bad, and Christians just kind of let it go. Christians aren't raising hell in the streets. I don't understand why you guys aren't.
Spiritual death. That's the primary reason. There is a loss of vigor, there is a loss of fighting spirit, and there is a loss of motivation within the American, and by proxy, the Christian population of the West. We have spent the last 200 to 300 years being up in with like all the fire and vigor and violence. We manifested our destiny. We won 2 world wars. We created the Pax Americana. And throughout all of that, towards the end, we started deriding ourselves. We started self-flagellating. We started hating ourselves for enacting what we viewed as our doctrine upon the world. And we've hit this point where we have a large population of people who do not believe in anything, who find self-flagellating to be the only way to find any sort of moral virtue, and so they flagellate the values that created the greatest country in human history, because that's the only real meaning. And then the people who still remain to the faith are too tired to really resist and fight back up until now. I'm personally, from what I have seen, especially what happened on that college campus recently with the frat group resisting the pro-Palestine protesters and keeping the flag from falling and even raising it again, I feel like personally you're going to see in the next 10 to 20 years a more martial sect of Christianity begin to rise up. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, that's up to the historians to decide.
I gotta respond to the chat because I can't ignore them. FU said
No worries.
Zionism. Hi Zionism. Hi Zionist. Hi FU. He says Zionism is a real parasite on this planet, not Judaism. I hear you. I hear you, FU, but we might have to disagree a little bit there. Just a
What
little
the heck is Zionism?
It's real. Go ahead.
No, it's your show. Go ahead.
You can probably explain it better than I can. I'll probably start half of it.
My understanding of what Zionism is, it is basically the perspective held by some Jews that they must sacrifice all other groups for the continuation of their prosperity, typically associated with the state of Israel. That is my understanding of the definition. If anyone in chat or on panel knows a more correct definition, feel free to inform me if I'm wrong or not.
Well, I've never heard that particular definition. I've always heard that Zionism is simply the belief in establishing a modern state of Israel as a homeland for the Jewish people. And it is wrapped up in both Christian and Jewish doctrine that Israel will eventually be gathered home to their homeland, that the children of Israel, the descendants of Israel, both Jews and the other 11 tribes.
Gotcha.
And I don't see that as necessarily a bad thing. I support the concept of a state of Israel. Do I believe that Israel over the last 60 years could have done a better job in dealing with the Palestinian Arab minority, with dealing with the refugee question, even though they didn't create the refugee problem, the Arab states did. I think that Israel is in most respects, a beacon of representative process, representative government, and freedom in the Middle East. Roughly 20% of the population of Israel are either Muslim or Christian Arabs, and include generals in the army, Supreme Court justices, members of the Knesset. I defy you to show me any Arab country in the region that has similar freedoms and similar prosperity for a minority religious population within their boundaries.
I don't think the issue is about. Pardon me. I hear you. I needed to step in a little bit, because I don't think the issue is talking about if Muslims are accepted in Israel, or if Israel is kind to other religions in their borders. to me, the biggest problem with me is that America is so hell-bent on being a part of this war. And this is where my issue comes in, because I think America needs to step back a little bit, because
and mind our business.
Just a little bit, because it's like we have a lot of problems going on here, and I don't see it. You see right now, we're in the middle of a war with Iran now, because Iran, of course, it's a whole mess, guys. I am really upset at the state of the world right now, and we all know that this is only happening because America is weak. The fact that we have all these wars going on worldwide now is because America is weak. What, Shadow?
I would say that most of these wars that we're seeing are merely the reason we have these wars going on the way they are is because America is strong. If we were not strong enough to enforce a Pax Americana, the wars in the world would be very different. Currently, we are at war with states like Iran or China. They just simply are not using martial force in order to exert authority upon us. They are funding protester groups to burn down our cities. They are corrupting our youth with mental opium. They are purchasing or disabling our infrastructure. We are waging a different kind of war. Yeah, exactly. The war in Ukraine, the war in Israel, Palestine, the war in Azerbaijan, between Azerbaijan and Armenia in the year 2020, and other various Bush conflicts that are occurring or may have occurred are merely minor powers or proxies of major powers. And China, in my opinion, is a proxy of major powers at this point due to its declining birth rates and minimized industrial capacity, testing the waters to see what America will do.
Shadow, hold on a second. Shadow, hold on. When you say that America is strong and hence the reason why the wars are happening, the reason I disagree there is because we would have seen this when Trump was president if it were true that because of our strength that this is why it's happening. The reason why I believe this is happening right now is because it's an opportune moment where America is weak right now. But if we're not arguing that America is weak always, just during right now.
Let me rephrase. I mean, these specific conflicts being executed the way they are is due to the fact that the Pax Americana is as dominant as it is. If, say, Iran felt like it could wage a conventional war against Israel and move armies through Iraq, it would do that. If Russia felt like it could take Europe, it would do that. If China felt like it could take its neighbors, they would do that. The fact that we are seeing what are effective proxy wars in the form of groups like Hamas and Hezbollah being used against Israel, and in the case of Russia not truly mobilizing its full military force to invade Ukraine, it's more testing the waters because America is in a less responsive state. If the United States still wanted to, it has the force to break any other nation over its knee and spank it until it's red. However, it lacks a certain force of will due to the current leader not being the most capable. America is in a weaker state than it would be under, say, Trump or a more young and spry individual, but it is not weak. At least in my opinion, America is not weak, just not as strong as it could be.
What do you guys think on the panel? Gamma or Neil?
Yes, I was waiting for a pause there.
I'm sorry, I talk way too much.
It's all good, man. Gotcha, Neil. All right, so check this out. This is what I think Amira was saying by weak. Not as far as our strength as a nation, but weak in that we've become parasitic leeches to the world. The fact it was pretty much during Vietnam is when all this started, where you could manipulate other countries, hire assassins, and put in your own leaders and just cause chaos in the name of stopping communism. But the problem that we have now is they've learned how to do that so good to the point where they're professionals at fucking with other people's lives, I would say. And so our weakness is that we're parasitic and we're not beneficial to society. Go ahead, Neil.
Oh, hold on. I had muted him because there was some noise coming from him. Hold on one second. There it is. Okay, there you are.
Okay. I fixed the noise, Amira. It was a transient event. I was gonna say in response to both you and Shadow, I neglected to mention in talking about how Israel could have been done better. the United States could have done better, not just with its foreign policy towards Israel, but its foreign policy in general. And part of what hampers the United States foreign policy is that our two-party system. And when one party is controlled, they have one emphasis on foreign policy. And when the other party is controlled, it's a different emphasis. And that used to be much less than it is now. It used to be that Democrats and Republicans both had America's interests in sight and dealt more equitably with the world. The differences between the direction of our foreign policy have become much more extreme in the last few years. The difference between Bush and Obama, between Obama and Trump, between Trump and Biden are huge. And it's almost like, you know, like driving a horse team and you turn it around and drive it in a completely different direction. And I think our opponents, our enemies in the world, the only reason they haven't pounced either militarily or much more aggressively is that they recognize that the presidency can change in 4 years. And I think the only reason China, you know, they recognize the residual strength that we have and that our policy could change in a heartbeat after a presidential or even a midterm election. I think what's kept China from invading Taiwan and Russia from being more aggressive against its neighbors and Iran from being more aggressive is they don't think they can get the job done in 2 or 4 years. And they're afraid. And people have said, well, Trump was a wild man. He was unpredictable. Yeah, and that's what keeps enemies at bay, is being willful and strong and unpredictable.
That's right.
Back in a previous life when I was on active duty in the Navy and I had some marginal...
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service, man. And happy Military Month, or Veterans Month, or whatever the specific term for May
whatever
is.
they're calling it this month. But and we were asked in a, you know, kind of a mini think tank when I was out at Fifth Fleet, is how do you deal with terrorists? How do you dissuade somebody who's obviously not afraid of death? They're not afraid to die. And after a lot of thought, I realized that what they're afraid of is uncertainty. What they're afraid of is randomness in a response, because if they could fight on equal terms, they would be. The reason they're pursuing asymmetrical warfare is they know they can't win a war of attrition. They can't slug it out toe to toe. So what they're afraid of is failure. They're afraid that if they put a bunch of resources to attack a certain target and they're defeated, they have lost all those resources and can't easily make them up. So
read it, Shadow,
dealing
because
with terrorism is a good thing.
Read what you were trying to show Neil, Shadow.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say, I was just showing this for the chat. Counterinsurgency warfare by David Galula. Just to agree with Neil's point. You don't.
So is counterinsurgency warfare?
Yes, the fundamental thing is if you are the inferior opponent in an occupation and the world is effectively occupied by America, you don't engage in conventional warfare. You give them multiple issues. You give them red zones where they need to waste resources trying to fix problems like Ukraine, Israel, what Guyana would have been, Africa, etc. Right. While you posture strength, you erase their legitimacy because they can't solve problems. And then as they've burned the resources, then you start mobilizing the people against them, and then you drive them out. Sorry to interrupt your monologue, or not monologue. Your point.
Neil has a great point, and most of the chat, I think all of the chat, in fact, Neil, is agreeing with you there, because that's exactly the point that I was trying to get at when I was speaking about Trump and being weak versus strong. And I think you understood, Neil, what I was trying to say. Most of you did, except Shadow, because Shadow wants to be difficult. But aside from that, we see now that us being so predictable and being so soft and cautious, Biden is a very cautious person when it comes to certain things. And I think that appearance is what, do you guys remember Obama, he was doing things behind our backs, bombing countries like crazy. They called him, in the Middle East, we used to call him the Obama, not Obama, Obama, because he was bombing the Middle East, my Middle East, so much. And
not just the Middle East. He was also bombing. He was. Oh wait, am I echoing?
No, you're fine.
Thought I was echoing. He wasn't just bombing the Middle East. He was also bombing like the UN and international charity groups. Google the Kunduz Hospital, Obama Kunduz Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
He earned a Medal of Peace, and he bombed a Doctors Without Border hospital.
That's right. And he earned a Medal of Peace because he was Black. But anyway, aside from that, it's just, and the thing about keeping control and keeping power is, just like Neil said, being unpredictable. And with Trump, you never knew what that guy was going to do, because you didn't know if you were going to set him off, because he was a hothead. And Larry, stop. All right, Larry, it's not working. I don't care how many cute puppy eyes you do. It's not working. Guys, I gotta go. I have to go now. I do actually have to go. I'm not saying that because I'm mad at Larry. I actually do have to cut it off now, because I need to go. I need to eat, and I need to have tea and watch a movie, because it is Saturday and I want to enjoy my Saturday just a little bit before I have to get back to painting. I'm painting the house and I'm busy. So, is there anything that you guys want to leave us with on the panel? Anybody?
Oh, yes.
Okay, let's go in turn then. Let's go from my side down. So we'll go from me to Shadow to Neil to Gamma to Larry. All right. So anyway, we'll go from me to Shadow to Neil to Gamma. Deal?
Okay.
Sounds fair.
Okay, go Shadow.
To the Pride, make sure to consume meat and dairy products, exercise regularly, read your scripture of choice, and make sure to continue to hone your flesh and your mind into a weapon to survive the coming apocalypse.
Thank you, Shadow. Thank you. Have a great Saturday. I will see you on the week. If you're available in the week, I might come back on Wednesday or Thursday.
All right, we'll see.
All right, bye-bye. Neil.
Two things. We sometimes go down a rabbit hole comparing how Trump would have responded to the Ukraine war versus how Biden is responding to it. There wouldn't have been a Ukraine war under Trump, because Russia would have been afraid of and not able to predict what Trump's response would have been. So he would have prevented it. So you don't need to worry about his response. The other thing, we got a little bit into differences between Christianity, Islam, Judaism. Those three religions have more in common than they have different. We should be working together rather than emphasizing our differences.
Yeah, agreed. Thank you so much for joining us today. It has been a pleasure. I think it's your first time joining on the panel, right?
It is, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Don't be a stranger. Come back.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Gamma.
Hello. Let's see. I don't have anything in particular, but I was gonna say.
Then bye. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Dang. I was gonna say, I pray that someday I will have a wife that I can paint with and build a home with. That'd be nice.
Yeah, it's something that I wish more people are able to experience the good things about being married. I know online there's so much negativity about marriage, and it was so bad, and get taken for all you got, and it's a sad thing that we can't even think about marriage anymore without thinking about divorce. We can't, it's just, and like I said, I think it's because of the quality of women, because the quality of women has diminished. There's no beauty anymore in marriage because of women, mostly. Yes, men have some part in this. I'm not going to say that men are angels, but mostly the women. And we can get into that in future streams. But anything else that you wanted to bring up?
Oh, yes. I also want to ask, I know we brought it up before, but would you ever consider starting a separate channel just as an educational channel for women? I would so be into that. I hope if necessary.
I don't think so, Gamma, because I don't like when people try to put me in a box. If I started, I'll give an example just really quickly. when people see me, and if I turn into a teacher of women, it makes it seem like I'm perfect, or makes it seem like that, you know, femininity, people, Gamma, I'll give you a quick example, because when I was on the PEEF, people labeled me as very feminine. They said, oh, she's very feminine and so on. I never see myself as really feminine. I see myself as just me. This is how I was taught to be, right? I have etiquette. I have certain things, but yes, I can be crude. I can be crude, especially when I'm speaking about topics that regard children or things that are degeneracy. So anyway, I can be crude. So when people saw the crude side of me, they were like, oh, I guess her feminine side isn't real. Oh, I guess she's a chameleon. She's not really feminine. And people are failing to understand that femininity does not always have to be this soft, in a corner, what is it called, coy thing. Femininity, that's not what femininity is. It doesn't have to be that way. And I think people have a misunderstanding about why a woman is feminine versus why she would be masculine. And me, I don't consider myself at all masculine. I've even asked my husband, do you see any masculinity in me? And he told me the only masculine thing about you is the way you drive. He said, you drive like a and he told me that. He said, I've never seen a woman drive like you. He said, but other than that, he said, no, you are very feminine. He said, there's nothing masculine about you. I said, so even when I get crude and I get upset and so on, does that seem masculine to you? And he said, you're passionate about these topics. I don't see you getting bass in your voice and starting to raise your hands. Like, he's like, I don't see you doing anything like that, but you do get passionate. And people might say, oh, that's not, coy or something. But he said, there's nothing masculine about me other than how I drive. So anyway, back to the point, Gamma, the reason I don't want to do the teaching and so on is because I think that I'm not of age yet, and I'm not mature enough yet to teach women. I think that should be something that I can do when I'm 40 or, older, because then I can be fully matured in myself. Right now, I'm still kind of like, I don't know, immature. And
what I will say is, I think the issues you were having is you're dealing with normies, and normies are pretty retarded. I was reading your Lapeef, like some of the comments down there, and they were pretty racist. It was the one where you're talking about how black women are super aggressive and just overly assertive, and everything you were saying was correct. But then you look at the comments, and they're all like, "Oh, well, she shouldn't be talking about black issues and this and that," and just saying all kind of negative shit. Sorry for cursing, negative stuff. And it's just normie behavior. They don't like when you challenge them, and I think that's what you were facing. But as far as you waiting, if that makes you feel more comfortable,
Yeah, I think when I'm to a teaching stage, I think I'm too young to tell women what to do and what not to do, and how this or how that. I went to etiquette school, so I could teach them about etiquette, certain etiquette, dinner etiquette, and so on. I can teach about that, but I just don't think that I'm there yet, because the women that I was taught by were women in their 50s and 60s. I was taught by women in their 50s and 60s, and that seemed appropriate because they were at an age where they were masterful, and they were, in tune and know all the stuff. But yeah.
You enjoy your Saturday.
I appreciate it. Thank you. And you always have interesting questions, so I appreciate it. But typically your questions are more focused on me versus our topics. It doesn't bother me. I just noticed that, that's all. And I appreciate it.
I've always been what we call a teacher's pet. I focus a lot on the speaker and their experiences. I'm not trying to be weird or anything, but just to understand.
It's not weird. That's not weird at all. Or you're a narc, like BTK says. So, I mean, either one, either way, it could be the FBI trying to get closer to me, but it won't work. So if you are a narc, you're wasting your time, because I have a lot of walls built up around me. So it'll be very hard to get there, but you can try. So have a good night, Mr. Gamma, and I will see you hopefully on Wednesday or Thursday.
I might have to do a face reveal at some point. Okay.
Well, if you look like an octopus or a squid like Sam, just don't do it. You know, as long as you don't look like that, then I'm willing to.
hell?
Oh. Hi, Sam. How are you? You're still here?
Wasn't bothering anybody.
He always catches a stray. Good night. Good night, Gamma. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good night.
Bye-bye. Okie dokie. The last questions that I received, you guys can tell I get kind of weird when it's questions about me. You guys can see I get a little weird about it. I try not to, but it's just, thinking when someone asks you a question about yourself, it's more difficult to answer questions about yourself versus answering questions about topics, because the topics I'm well versed. I know what I'm talking about. I have references. I have, case studies, case law, and on all that, but when it comes to questions about myself, it's difficult for me to answer, and I hope I'm answering them properly or to your guys' satisfaction. But I don't think about myself that much, like, I don't know, like what I look like, what I'm doing, or the way I come off or something like that. This is me, and this has always been me. And a lot of people thought that this was not me because, on the Peep, they were like, oh, this isn't true. She's faking. This is truly me. What you guys see is what you get in real life. And a lot of you guys have actually met me in real life. So you guys know this is who I am. This is how I am. I don't change for you guys. I don't change because I turn on the camera. I don't turn into something different because I'm on the camera. This is me. So thank you all for joining me today. I hope I have been slightly entertaining. I hope you guys have learned a little bit about the articles that I presented. I hope that you guys have had your fill of conversation, rage, comedy. I'm not funny at all, but I'm just saying, maybe looking at me, my face is funny or something. I don't know. But and Shadow has a funny looking face, so that might be funny too. But thank you guys for joining me today. I have really had a blast as always. I always enjoy you guys. I need to go because I need to take out my contacts because my eyes are killing me. They're actually really red today, as you guys can see. And yeah, I'll see you guys Wednesday or Thursday. And with that, I yield my time. Have a great week. I will talk to you guys soon. Good night. Oh, that's right. We didn't, did we? Okay, yeah, cool. Do you guys want to come back tomorrow? Let me know if you guys want to come back tomorrow. If we come back tomorrow, we'll come early, like, because it's school night. So we can come together around 5, 6 Pacific, 8 Eastern. Okay, let's do that. And we can do the makeup videos and just have a jolly old time together. What do you guys say? Do you guys want to do that? Let me know. Okay, so we'll do the makeup video. We will do the doings. And yeah, okay. All right. Bye.